Hi there. Today we're going to take the concept of healing our bodies with food to a whole new level. Up until now, we've mostly been focusing on the different types of food that we eat and the effects that they have, both positive and negative, on our bodies. Now, we're going to start shining some light on the power that comes from eating purposefully and what can happen when we fully take our health into our own hands. Thus, our focus today is on the power of raw and superfoods. Before we really dive into this topic, we'd like to share that the purpose of this video is to really explore all of the benefits around this way of eating. We're not suggesting that you need to go completely raw or declare yourself a raw vegan, unless that's what you're truly compelled to do in your heart. However, in our own experiences, we have found that eating predominantly raw vegetables and fruits every day is critically important for providing essential nutrients to our bodies in the way that our bodies can actually utilize. For those of you who really wish to transform your life entirely, eating more raw foods is one such way to make that happen. We'd also like to express that raw food literally means any kind of food. While many people who practice eating a raw diet largely stick with plant-based foods, there are also those who consume raw eggs, raw meat like in sushi, or even raw cheese made from raw unpasteurized milk. Just keep that in mind as we move forward. Raw foods are powerful healing agents to the body because of what's inside of them. You see, raw means that they are uncooked and unpreserved. They are simply in their original and natural form. When our food is cooked, much of the living nutrients break down and are no longer available to our bodies. Therefore, when eating food that has been uncooked or preserved, we are getting the highest amount of nutrients that we can out of our food. This can be observed using Kirlian photography, in which we are able to observe the bioelectricity of physical objects. In the case of food, here is a baby carrot that is raw compared to a baby carrot that has been cooked for several minutes. Here is another example between cooked and raw corn. However, there's a wide debate on raw diets and whether cooking all plant-based foods largely destroys the nutrients or not. Some of this information comes from the work of Dr. Kuchikoff, who conducted over 300 experiments during the 1930s on the different ways that the body reacts to different types of food, both cooked and raw. However, let us note that many of his experiments had not ever been replicated, and thus some of the findings are questionable, where others have been backed up a little bit more. Kuchikoff's work seemed to imply that if we consume a diet of mostly cooked food, the immune system in our bodies reacts to the food as if it were a foreign invader. He called this digestive leukocytosis, where our bodies will generate white blood cell activity against the food that we ate. This is the questionable part of this research, which hasn't really been backed up. The idea was that because cooking the food destroys most of the enzymes, our bodies have to do all of the work to digest the food instead of working with the enzymes within the food during the digestion process. The body may very well have to work harder, but we can't say for certain it actually raises the alerts inside of the body. Dr. Kuchikoff's work also found that every food has its own unique cooking point, which is called the critical temperature. Once food reaches this critical temperature, most of the essential nutrients are cooked away. The lowest critical temperature required to maintain the living enzymes in the food does tend to change from food to food and mostly ranges between 87 to 97 degrees Celsius or 191 to 206 degrees Fahrenheit. We've put a link in our sources for you to see the specifics. Another study conducted by the Journal of Food Science looked at the antioxidant activity in vegetables when cooked and found some interesting things about each food specifically. The highest losses of antioxidants were found in peas, cauliflower, and zucchini, with percentages above 50%. In other cases, such as celery, cooking actually appeared to increase antioxidants. This isn't to suggest that there's anything wrong with cooking food. We know there are plenty of benefits to cooking food, such as destroying bacteria, softening tough foods, increasing the calories in food, breaking down starch molecules into digestible fragments, and even concentrating the flavors. If anything, all of this research really speaks to the nature of balance by observing the benefits on either side of the spectrum. On one side, we have more nutrients and enzymes, but less calories. On the other side, we have less nutrients, but more calories. Then we must observe our own bodies and take account of what we really need on a daily basis and what we're trying to achieve. So what does it mean for people who want to eat a fully raw diet? Again, the research on long-term raw diets vary greatly in results. A large number of studies have demonstrated profound healing effects from doing this, such as the documentary Simply Raw, which shows how a number of people outright cured their diabetes in a month of eating nothing but raw food. Other studies, however, have concluded that a long-term raw diet may not be recommended because of significant weight loss and low plasma levels in the blood. We might also make note of the 70-year-old woman who looks like she's barely hitting 40 and claims that all she does is eat a fully raw vegan diet and exercises daily. Truly, this particular research is very polarized at this point in time, and no matter what you believe, it seems you can find a study or source backing up your perspective. Nevertheless, it's great that there is so much attention and focus on this discussion. Ultimately, we need to do what is right for our bodies by listening to how we feel on a daily basis and act upon what we know is right for us in any particular moment. As we mentioned, one of the biggest revelations in the field of raw food is its ability to affect and treat disease. When put into practical application, we are seeing case after case where raw food has been used to treat diseases and illnesses across the board and generally bring about a renewed and deeper sense of wellness within. In fact, we can cure the incurable diseases such as cancer and diabetes when we apply the right ingredients. And a number of doctors, scientists, and nutritionists suggest that the right ingredient is not tens of thousands of dollars in pills or surgeries, but raw organic food. The Gerson therapy, a holistic approach to healing terminal illnesses, utilizes the power of raw and juiced foods. It is a regimented diet consisting of up to 13 glasses of raw green leaf and apple juices a day, mostly raw vegetarian meals with some cooked food, and supplements such as potassium, vitamin B12, and pancreatic enzymes. Along with coffee enemas for the rapid flushing of toxins, this method of deep cleansing has demonstrated all manner of rejuvenating effects on the body and produced countless testimonials of healing some of mankind's most serious diseases, especially cancer. All of the research and testimonials of others who have done this powerfully demonstrates that when we make a change in our lives for the better, we can see results that match it, and raw food is no exception. It's worth noting that most people don't switch to a raw diet and stay there permanently, because it can be difficult to maintain higher calories with this diet, at least without the devotion to figure out how. Nevertheless, it is a very powerful, focused burst of healing and rejuvenation to the body for a period of time. Once the results have been achieved, most people will then attempt to find a new, healthy balance between fresh, raw food and cooked food. Many people may choose to eat seasonally as well, eating more cooked foods in the winter and more raw during the summer to give the body the types of energy it needs based on the season. This type of diet may also vary depending on where you are in the world. The food that we consume greatly impacts our health, and when we can consciously choose to eat whole foods that heal instead of bring harm to our bodies, we can overcome even the most deadly of illnesses, and all that is required is our desire to make it so and take action upon that desire. With that said, there is one other method that we would like to discuss to give our bodies a powerful boost of rejuvenation, and that is by consuming what today are called superfoods. Superfoods are nutrient-dense foods which contain an extremely large amount of vitamins, minerals, and other essential nutrients. They are most often plant-based food, but can include some fish and dairy too. There is no official criteria for what can and can't be a superfood, but they are usually raw, unprocessed, and whole foods that have significantly higher or more nutrients than other regular foods. Some of the most popular superfoods include berries, quinoa, certain beans and nuts, and dark leafy greens like kale, Swiss chard, spinach, and collards. Fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are also considered to be superfoods in that they contain a high amount of omega-3 fatty acid. One of the most notable qualities of superfood is their high level of antioxidants. Antioxidants are molecules which protect the cells in the body from other harmful molecules like free radicals. One example study of this in particular showed that the phenolic compounds of blueberries can actually inhibit colon cancer cell growth. Some of the more uncommon but extremely powerful superfoods include ginseng, goji berries, buckwheat, reishi mushrooms, kelp, wheatgrass, spirulina, hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and raw cacao. Among that list, spirulina is one of the most notable superfoods, being 60% protein and containing a hefty dose of vitamin A, K1, K2, B12, iron, manganese, and chromium. It has 280% more antioxidants than blueberries, 2,800% more beta-carotene than carrots, and 3,900% more iron than spinach. It's seriously amazing. Raw cacao also has more than 300 phytochemicals in it, nearly 4 times the antioxidant power of regular dark chocolate, containing protein, calcium, carotene, thiamine, riboflavin, and magnesium. It's uncomparable to regular store-bought chocolate, which contains next to none of the same nutrients due to being cooked. Generally, superfoods are regarded as powerful safeguards against chronic disease and have the potential to prolong your life and support your body's healthy physique by lowering cholesterol, producing much needed enzymes, inhibiting cancer-causing cell growth, unclogging your arteries, and so much more. Ultimately, we always want to come back to the message of balance. We know that eating a wide range of whole foods, both raw and cooked, seems to be the most beneficial in maintaining our nutritional levels, weight, and overall well-being, especially in today's modern world. However, for those who have gone far out of balance by years of eating an excess of foods that are unhealthy or are struggling with a disease of some kind, a short or long raw and superfood cleanse can bring the body back into a state of equilibrium. And the continued consumption of these foods from then on after the cleanse will continue to promote longevity and a healthy and vibrant body. And now, before we bring this video to a close, we'd like to introduce you to the work of Charles Holmes and Wind Walrath. Together, they overcame debilitating allergies, digestive disorders, IBS, a bleeding colon, and breast cancer entirely through natural methods. They then dedicated their lives to helping others overcome virtually all diseases using nothing but nutrition. These two started a holistic health company called Conscious Planet, which provides a program on how to regenerate and heal your body and mind, along with an assortment of herbal supplements designed to support you in living a balanced and harmonious life. For over 10 years, people with fatigue, diabetes, obesity, hormone problems, cancer, mental health issues, and many other disease symptoms have found positive results as they've engaged with Conscious Planet. And so it is such a joy to be able to share them with you today. For those who want to give it a try, we highly recommend their monoatomic gold mineral elixir called Genesis, their nutrient-rich supplement Phytomune, or just go all in with their Replenish Pack. As always, you can find links down below in the author comments. For all of you on the road to health and wellness, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.